1883. He saw the Baltic nations. He saw the angel over the Baltic nations, and which is obviously Latvia. You know, it's Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. He saw 5 nations. He saw Sweden. He saw St. Petersburg. He also saw Poland. And what's the other side?
Finland. Finland and
So
Norway.
all of those, but there were 5 in specific, but the 3 major Baltic nations, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. And he saw that and Bob was my pop, he was my dad. So the angel that was over the Baltic nations, which is a corridor, it's a corridor, it's an eastern gate to Russia. He saw that angel was the same angel that worked with John Wesley back in the 1860s, and he said America will in the eastern gate. Sorry, that was the western. I was talking about the western gate, St. Petersburg, the Baltic nations, into Russia. He said that the same angel that moved with John Wesley will you know, is over the Baltic nations, and that America cannot move in revival until the Baltic nations. So the Baltic nations have to go first, and that was one of the main words that I had for Lithuania and for Estonia, but Latvia, that this angel, and it's time now, because this is the year 2019. 2019 is Acts 2:19, and I will show signs in the heavens above and on the earth beneath, blood, fire, smoking vapor, before the great and notable day of the Lord. And then whosoever calls upon the name of the Lord, Acts 2:21, will be saved. So there's a 2-year window right now, and there's much focus and much attention on Latvia, and this is prayer that I'm prophesying. There's much that's happening in Europe, but the Baltic nations are key, not just to America, but the Baltic nations are key to the world. And they're key to revival in America, but they're key to revival in the nations. And it's going to be a revival of signs and wonders. It's going to be a revival of miracles, and you cannot remove miracles, signs and wonders from a move of God. You just can't do it. They have to be present. There has to be miracles. There must be miracle signs and wonders. There's always counterfeits. There's always people that do things, and you know that's the enemy's attempt to muddy the water. But authentic signs, wonders, and miracles are key to the move of God in the Baltic nations, and that's what's going to bring these die-hard Catholic, Roman, not Roman, but Russian Orthodox, you know, Jews and Russians and Catholics and Lutherans. It's going to draw them out. The miracles will. So I see that happening, and I see that happening now. I see there's something that's going to happen here in Riga in 2020. Just like I saw something happening key in Germany in 2020, something's going to happen key in Riga 2020, like it's going to happen in Kansas City, like it's going to happen in Amsterdam, like it's going to happen in other places, but something key is going to take place, and it's going to be completely supernatural. I wouldn't be surprised if something opens up in a Lutheran church, or a Catholic church, or some other kind of civic building where the Holy Spirit begins to flow and people start coming from all over the place, like it did in Estonia in the 1980s. Is that right? In Estonia. So watch what happens in 2020. But this is what has to take place. The series of events has to take place with the Baltic nations. The same angel that's over the Baltic angel that's over the Baltic nations, 5 of them in particular, but then there's others as well, but there's 5 in particular that revivals will break out in before America breaks out. So the next great American revival, before it breaks out, it has to break out in the Baltic nations first.